A very good afternoon, dear students. I welcome you all to this Success at CA Exams Board of Studies Academy session for Paper 2, Corporate and Other Laws at Intermediate Level. So, my dear students, a very warm welcome to all of you and good afternoon, Avijit, Balamurgan, Dikshit, Lakshmi, Linga, Raju, Ashish Mishra, Ritik, Shashank, Mithilya, Sishendu, Bhanushali, Himanshika Sharma. So, a very warm welcome. And with this, we will start the session. So, this session is basically, I think, on 16th of March, we had one other session, which was our fortnight program, wherein we had the expert faculty with us. And we discussed a few things about this paper. Now, again, we are here to extend that session a bit. Many of the students were feeling that they need to know a few more things, so 2 hours were not enough for them. So, Success at CA exams, as the name suggests, that this session is aimed at to bring success to you for the coming examination. Your paper is on 7th of May, if I'm not wrong. Just respond. Any student? The paper is on 7th or 8th of May? Okay,
It's 7th.
correct. So you should this response should have come automatically from every one of you that it's on 7th of May. So 7th May, and today we are on 14th of April. So less than a month is left for you. But time, it may seem that it is less, but for revision point of view, this time is not less. So we will be focusing more on the revision part. I will be assuming that all of you must have already done your preparations and then you are attending this session. So a quick recap of the things for some of the students who may have still missed a few pointers. What are the publications that are applicable to you? The first one is the study material, which is the July 2024 edition, but it's a reprint of August 2025. So this material you should refer for May 2026 examination. Then once you have done your studies from the detailed book, which is your study material, the next question comes that just reading the book will not be enough. You need to practice it. So what are the various sources for or what are the various sources to assess that what you have read? Because if you're reading about OPC, you should know how to apply the knowledge of the section plus rule 3 and 4 in practical scenarios. How will you know that? That will be known with the help of questions that are given as test your knowledge, be it MCQs or the descriptive question. The second point would be, since we are giving in the study material only a few questions, so you should have something more to practice for it. So you can practice it from the MCQ dashboard. So this is basically a digital platform. I hope many of you must be already referring to it. Okay, wherein the questions will be provided there and the answer you can get there itself and the result will be provided. Similarly, those MCQs are also provided in the MCQ booklet. So many a time students don't want to always look into the digital mode. They also want things in hard copies. So MCQ booklet is also there. It's approximately 50 case scenarios are there, and in that which are followed obviously by relevant MCQs. So you have enough of material to prepare those case scenario based questions, case scenario based MCQ based question basically. So you can refer the MCQ dashboard plus the MCQ booklet. Then you have the revisionary test paper. You all must be knowing about the revisionary test paper. So you have the revisionary test paper, which is the applicable, you should refer the applicable one, which is your May 2026. We will talk more about this RTP more in the coming slide. Then we have the mock test paper. So series 1 is provided to you and series 2 is provided. Okay, so I get this question a lot from the students that ma'am, why there is a difference between the RTP and mock test paper. So RTP consists of your amendments that are applicable for your attempt, and then we are providing a few questions, like 20 questions inclusive of your case scenarios and everything. So around 20 questions are there in that. So basically, we are providing more and more sources to you for revision, for assessing yourself. What is mock test paper? As the name suggests, mock type of test papers. So they are exactly on the pattern of your examination. So it will be like 3 or 4 case scenarios followed by the MCQs, some independent case scenarios. Then part B or division B would be your descriptive question, wherein 6 descriptive questions would be provided. First is compulsory, similar to what is there in the examination. It is always advised to you that whenever you are doing the mock test paper, either go to the nearest branch and attempt it there and get it checked from the people there only. One option is this, which is already closed for you if you are sitting today for this. So many students who might still not have seen the mock test paper, just log into the this Board of Studies knowledge portal and then fill in your details and go to the this MTP tab there and put in your details and just look into that what is the these 2 papers will be available there. Go there, attempt it. And now how should you attempt it? Put a timer, sit at a place where you will not be disturbed by your family or friends for at least 3 hour 15 minutes. So you should be that much focused as and keep your phone away for 15 minutes. Give it for reading the way you get in exams. So for 15 minutes you should give for reading, and then for the next 3 hours just focus on your paper. And then what you can do, you can check the answers that are already provided. So this will give all of you a edge towards other students. I'm not saying other students are not preparing, but when you are preparing something like this, what happens is your mind is automatically trying, imitating the things that may come up to you while you are doing the examinations. So, like what we do when we are writing the last answers, we are always in the rush mode. If you have seen done this MTP series and 1 and 2, so you have already given your COL paper twice before the examination. So it is my advice that you should always do the mock test paper beforehand. Not do not leave it for the audit portion. Like I will just flip through it and do it. Give these 6 or 30 minutes to this paper and similarly to other papers also. It will benefit you a lot and it will increase your speed. Then it will also help you. Many a time students say, ma'am, we couldn't finish the paper. The paper may be lengthy or something, but when you are training your mind already for it, you feel that, okay, I can do it. And then it helps you to assess your preparation also. So you should attempt this mock test series 1 and 2, and then you have your suggested answers. So there are 2 ways to attend this suggested, do this suggested also. One is go to our, like on the website, we have our question papers for every attempt for May 2024, September 2024. We have we have it there. So just go there, take out the paper and attempt it the way you did this MTP or audit. Audit, the word I'm using the word audit when we just read the answers. So that I'm referring to as audit. Or otherwise, just go to the suggested as it is, that is in the other tab of BoS Live. And in that, go to the suggested, go to the relevant attempt and just read or attempt the paper. Because in suggested, what we're doing, we are giving the question like question 1, ABC, and then answer 1 ABC. But when you're doing the question paper, it is exactly the way it came in the examination. So for suggested answers, you can do it in 2 manners. Now, if we see, you the basic thing that you have to focus on, which you must have focused and completed by now, was the study material. This is the foundation. It's like a Burj Khalifa kind of a thing. So the base needs to be very strong. So first of all, the study material, which I guess you must have already completed, and then you can build your Burj Khalifa on it by practicing from the MCQ booklet, dashboards, RTPs, MTPs, and suggested answer, because those are the things which will help you to analyze the problem in this kind of a situation. Okay, I have to analyze the situation like this, and then how I have to answer it. So these are the sources that I have written. Apart from that, there is one more very major source. Here it is a detailed book. Now, what should you use for the handbook kind of a thing? Refer the Saransh. So Saransh are basically pictorial representation or diagrammatic representations of major sections. Okay. So we have tried to cover most of the sections. It is kind like while you are referring the study material, along with that, you can refer the Saransh. And if you feel that you need to add something more to the this handbook kind of a thing, you can add something. So it is kind of, if somebody has referred the Saransh along with the this detailed book, that is the study material, at the end, what they can do is just refer the Saransh with all the notings that they have done. So it is quick memory recall and as well as revision. So you can refer the Saransh for that. Moving on to next, like I was telling you about the RTP. So why do you have to study the RTP? So the July 2024 edition of the study material, which is the reprint, just be very sure that we are talking about the reprint 2025 edition. It contains all the amendments up to 31st July 2025. Okay. It contains all the amendments to 31st July 2025. Okay. And for the May 2026 examination, amendment, oh, this is May. So for May 2026 examinations, amendments up till 31st October 2025 are applicable 6 months before the examination. So you have to refer the RTP for that. But the beauty right now is that students who are referring this edition, luckily for you, no major amendment or relevant amendment have come after 31st of July. So they are already incorporated in this study material. But for any student who is not knowing about it, we are separately also giving you the amendments with the in the RTP, as well as they are hosted on the website also. So if I can show you one thing. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Continue.
Ma'am, can you tell me that how strictly we have to stick to the wordings of provisions?
Okay, I will take that. Let me just go further. That's noted. You want to know about how to write basically and what all needs to be covered.
No, ma'am, like in writing a provision, मतलब हमें कितनी
समझ
uh,
किस एक्सटेंट
wordings
तक
चाहिए?
आपको लीगल लैंग्वेज यूज करनी है?
Yes, ma'am.
करेक्ट. So I will take that up. Okay, students, can you see that this is the boslive.ici.org? So study material is, you can see from here. I guess all of you must have already done this. Okay. So I'm not going further into this. I'm more interested in showing you the case scenario booklet. I'm just giving you a quick glance of the thing so that you don't have to search for it. Okay. So these are the case scenarios. Then Saransh, which I was talking about. So this is the Saransh, and I would say that you need to just see the amendments in this case, which I will be discussing with you, because it is not updated for till 31st of July. Okay. So just you need to see, add those amendments here. So this is the Saransh wherein we have tried to bring the major of the things to you in a short form. This you should refer only once you have completed your detailed study from the study material. Okay. Major definitions are given. If somebody feels that they need to add something more, they can write it here. So we have it for all the chapters, even for the chapters that you leave many a times. And I will be discussing one of the chapters in specific with you, which is your, I'm just opening it for you. We will be discussing at a later point of time. Is your interpretation of statutes. Because many students are facing problem with this chapter. Okay. So I was talking about the study material, this RTP, revisionary test paper. So all of you should refer the RTP, and it consists of practice questions also for you. Other sources of BoS is your live virtual classes are there, and which you must be aware of. It is conducted by the institute. The morning time for the classes is 7 to 9:30 and evening is 6 to 8:30. And you can refer, like I showed you, this BOS Live, everything is applicable, okay? So RTP is also available here only. All the attempts are there. Previous attempts you should see with caution only that they will not be amended as per the latest relevant legislation. And then suggested answers I was telling you, it is here. I told you about the question papers also, like we have the question papers also. Amendments are available to you at two places. One place, we are just giving you a brief of amendments, and the other place that they are available is your RTP. Otherwise, in everything that else you can see, RTP I told you. So in that also, we have given you the amendments and the practice questions. See, these amendments are there. And then you have the practice questions. So these are the major resources that you have. It is all available free of cost at the Board of Studies Knowledge Portal. How you can download this BOS mobile app from this, or go from Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. So now let us come to a major thing, that is your amendments. So I showed you the amendments where they're applicable. Since this time we have amendments, so I will discuss a few with you. So the first amendment that we will be discussing is in chapter 9. Yes, you can write answers and interpretation of statutes and points, but it needs to be complete. You cannot make the diagrams. You cannot, you need to write in full English legible sentences, full sentences, no short forms and nothing. And ma'am, facts of case is formed a part of answer, or else can I start from the provision, ma'am, if I skip facts of the question? Okay, I will take all this up, but before that, let's discuss this thing. amendments. So first amendment is in chapter 9, which is your accounts of companies. Uh, it seems to be a very small amendment that form AOC 1 will be replaced by E form AOC 1. It's a very small amendment. How will you, if any student wants to see how will you do it, it will be like, now I should know that what is AOC 1 for. Okay. Any students who can tell me that AOC 1 is, AOC 1 is used for what? I'm waiting. So it is basically a requirement under section 129(3) to report the salient features of the financial statements. Okay. Yes. It is for salient features. Okay. Now they are saying that earlier we could write it on in AOC 1, and now they're saying E form AOC 1. So what difference will it make? It is basically this rule, and rule 5 is related. You don't have to remember the exact rule number. So it is basically salient features of financial statements of subsidiaries or associates or joint ventures. They are saying that now it will be done electronically. All of the amendments that we will be seeing in this GSR 357E, they are basically more showing a shift towards a paperless environment. If I know that the why behind an amendment, it becomes easier for me to remember it. Otherwise, you have to mug it up. Now you know that E form denotes somewhere that they are trying to reduce the paperwork and more towards a digital governance, digitalization of the forms. Okay, towards a paperless MCA 21. Okay, so this is the simple form AOC 1 will be replaced with E form AOC 1. Similarly, if we see in rule 8, in rule 8 also they are saying that the form AOC 2 will be replaced with the letter, figures and word E form AOC 2. So again, it's the same thing. They are saying what is AOC 2 used for? It is for streamlining the related party transactions. Okay, now they are saying that this will be in the electronic form. Why it is being done so? This is also being done so for faster MCA approvals, because it will be done electronically. As the filing is electronic. So electronic filing, the things are moving at a nanosecond speed. Okay. So this will help in streamlining the related party compliances for companies once it is done in e-form. The next amendment for you is in sub-rule 5 of rule 8. So can anyone tell me that what is this rule 8? Why are we again and again talking about in like this whole is rule 8? What is rule 8 dealing with? Okay, let me put it in other words. If I don't say rule 8, what are these contents for in this I'm talking basically about not this, but this. What are they referring to? Why are these things coming up? You don't have to remember the rule number, that rule 8, but I should know ये सारी चीजें मुझे यूज कहाँ करनी है, where I have to use all this. Okay, I'm still waiting. Okay, so this is basically contents of board report. if you see in section 134, they have given the points that board reports need to report this. And then there is point number Q. Go back to your study. If you are sitting here, if you are having your study material, just open that page number. You will understand I am telling you all this. So it's basically contents of the board reports. In that there is a point Q, which says matters as prescribed. And where those are prescribed? Those are prescribed under Rule 8. And though these all contents, 1, 2, 3, 4, all these are written in Rule 8. You don't have to remember the rules, but you need to know that these are the matters that are to be contained in the board report. So one of the matters they are just writing that in clause 10. I'm just using the word points for easy reference because I'm not using rule 8, sub rule this, and then clause this. So I'm just saying in clause this, they have given that these all details are also to be added. So now one way is that I can just learn that they are writing something with respect to sexual harassment, the number of complaints disposed of, and the number of cases pending for more than 90 days. But how will it impact me as a student and a company? So the basis is that in the board report, now they also have to mention about these details. And what are those details? That the number of complaints of sexual harassment that were received by the company. So the board report has to mention that also. The number of complaints that were disposed of during the year and the number of cases pending for more than 90 days. So what they are saying? How many received? Then how many resolved and pending cases. Why this is being done? First of all, if the board report is mentioning these details, then it leads to more transparency in the workplace. It leads to transparency for the workplace safety. Think if they have to tell about all these things, then they have to somewhere resolve them also. Otherwise, it is getting reflected in their board report. And board report is published and everything, all those things are there. So it brings a kind of transparency that the workplace is safe. So it leads to more workplace safety. And now the auditor's verification will increase companies' accountability. Why they are writing all this in board report? The auditor will also see that, and the public will see. The auditor will see that, okay, the company is such that they are receiving these many complaints, they have resolved it, and if no cases are pending, then that's a good thing. So it matters. So they are taking all the steps to make the companies accountable. And to make the companies accountable, they are making the board as well as the auditors also responsible. Somewhere not directly, so indirectly. The next is, after clause 12, the following clause shall be inserted. A statement by the company with respect to the compliance of the provisions relating to the Maternity Benefit Act 1961. So you don't have to go into the details of that, what is contained in the Maternity Benefit Act. Just take it from the point of view that the company will be now more focused on employee welfare. If the board has to report this matter also into their board report, then the company's focus will be there on the employee welfare. If they are not focusing, then they cannot write it in the board report. So the company is now required to disclose that whether they are compliant of the provisions related to Maternity Benefit Act Somebody says that they are not, supposedly they are giving less leaves or other provisions. So they cannot write in the report, okay, we have done it. So more employee welfare compliance measures are taken. Okay. Now you would be thinking that how does it really matter to me in my examination? Since these are the contents of the board report, a question in the form of MCQ may be asked from you. They may give you certain points A, B, C, D, and ask that whether the company is compliant, or they can even make a question, descriptive question also, that the company is very nice and they have complied with all the provisions, and the company secretary said that okay, we have complied with all the provisions, and although we have not complied with Maternity Benefit Act, and there is no need to report this in the board's report, advise the company. So you can say that no, this is not fine. Now, since the amendment is there, had it been prior to 31st of July 2025, this was not a major content, but now they have to. Okay. Like, and for this 90 days, they may say, they can make a question that X number of cases were pending for 120 days. So since it is more than 90 days, so it ought to be reported. Though the provision are not directly impacting the accounts as such, but they are more kind of employee friendly. Okay. I hope it's clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I think now after all this, you don't have to rectify it. If you attend today's session, at least your amendments are sorted. You obviously have to learn a few words here and there, but you can write. Now the next amendment, which is in relation to Rule 12. In sub-rule 1B, the following sub-rule shall be inserted. Okay, I forgot to tell you one thing, मेरे बच्चों. Where I get the amended PDF of what? This PDF? Mandal, are you talking about this PDF? Okay, I told you na, in Board of Studies Knowledge Portal, either you refer it from the RTP, okay, or if you don't want to refer it from the RTP, then we have the source also. Amendments and Developments, Intermediate, and Paper 2 for May 2026. So it is available at both the places. It's a 4-pager only. So I forgot to tell you one thing, which was, if you see, we have also given you this old law kind of a thing. What we are saying is, if somebody is referring the earlier version of study material, so they will be able to, in that we have given form AOC 1. So now cut it with a pencil or pen and write E form AOC 1. So we have given that which page number you have to go and where you have to insert the amendment. Okay, so this is given for all. I just wanted to let you know. Now, moving on to further. This next amendment, if you one after 1B, you have to insert this new 1C. Now, what this is saying? बहुत लंबी सी amendment लग रही है. We feel it's a big amendment. Every company along with relevant E-form number AOC4, consolidated financial statements, XBRL, this in the respective attachments and portable documents format as required, shall also file E-form extract of board report, extracts of auditor's report, standalone, and extract of auditor's report consolidated as the case may be, provided that a copy of signed financial statements duly authenticated as per section 134 of the Act, including board's report, auditor's report, and other documents in portable document format shall also be attached with the XBRL forms. What happened is, remember this amendment, and you will have the benefit of understanding this amendment in another amendment which is on the next page. Okay, let me take that amendment also with you. I hope you have just read it. I'm just telling you. If I go on to the next page, which is the 6 June wala amendment, it is an, see, here we were talking about the XBRL, so we attached with XBRL forms, and this is the major thing. Read it once more. That a signed copy of financial statements duly authenticated as per section 134, including board report, auditor report, and other in portable document shall also be attached with XBRL. Now, this amendment, because we're talking about XBRL, so here they are saying that in these rules, which is your company's filing of documents and forms and extensible business reporting language rules, an amendment has come. Now, what is that? The companies, उतना ही portion है, देख लेना. The companies which have filed their financial statements under sub-rule 1 shall also attach a copy of signed financial statement duly authenticated as specified in section 134 of the Act, including board's report, auditor's report, and other documents in PDF format in e-form AOC 4 XBRL. AOC 4 XBRL. What the MCA is trying to do, they are verifying the tagged data, that it matches the original. They are putting a responsibility, copy of signed financial statements duly authenticated as specified in section 134. Who all are responsible to authenticate the documents? It will be in PDF format in e-form AOC 4 XBRL. So it will now create a digital trail, and it will help the MCA. They are verifying the tagged data, that it matches the original data by the signature and all those things. And this will create an audit trail. Rather not an, I should use the word digital audit trail. And this will aid the MCA. Okay. I hope it's clear. So they are talking about that of signing of the report. Okay. Okay, Kuldeep, thank you. Next. Audit and auditors. So with one, we have covered 2 amendments. Now we are on the last leg of the amendments. This is in the chapter 10, which is your audit and auditors. The central government has amended the Companies Audit and Auditors Rules 2014 through Companies Audit and Auditor Amendment Rules 2025. Okay, I would add one more thing here. Many a time students ask me, ma'am, that why you have given it, do I have to write this in the exam? No, you don't have to write such details. Even I don't remember if I don't read it here. If student wants to read the detailed amendment, then they can go to the website or just type this in the box and get it. So it's GSR 359E. dated, I think, 30th May 2025. I don't know why the MCA website is not directly opening. MCA. I don't know why it's not opening like that, but let me just show why we give it to you. Okay, it's taking it to MCA only. So this is the exact amendment, like the way it came. So we drill down whatever is important for you and then only we give you. But many a times we give it for your reference because you should know how things actually appear. And it gives a kind of flair to your understanding also. बच्चों को कभी कभार अच्छा लगता है, they should know what is the exact source. But in exam, we do not expect you to write so much. So this is it. And what is this? In Rule 13, in Sub-Rule 2, something have been added and something has been deleted. 2 points have been deleted. Wow, ये तो बहुत अच्छा हुआ, delete हो गया, हमें पढ़ना नहीं है. बिल्कुल बहुत अच्छा हुआ है आपके लिए. But you need to know, at least for the coming 1 to 2 attempts, they may ask something and then you have to say that, okay, they don't have to now report on it. So this is with related to auditor reporting. These 3 points, 2 in the sense D, E, F, now will simplify auditor reporting from physical to e-filing. All the amendments, if you see, we have discussed a lot, are more related to electronic filing only. So it also gives us a flair that now the government is moving towards digital governance. So they are more into this digital governance trend. So it simplifies the auditor reporting. The first one is for clause D, the following shall be substituted. For that, I need to know earlier what they were saying. The report shall be sent to the Secretary MCA in a sealed cover by a registered post with acknowledgement due or by speed post followed by an email in confirmation of the same. So they needed to do both. Now they are saying the report shall be filed electronically in form EDT4. Khatam. You don't have to send the physical thing. So it's like a paperless environment that they are promoting. Number one. Then clauses E and F shall be omitted. What were they in relation to? आप लिंक करिएगा ऊपर वाले से. The report shall be on the letterhead of the auditor containing postal address, email address, and contact telephone number or mobile number and be signed by the auditor with his seal and shall indicate his membership number. And F point, the report shall be in the form of a statement as specified in form 4. So now they have automatically, they are saying that these are now deleted. You can, if anybody is referring the earlier version, they can delete it. So it's more basically about doing everything electronically. And why they are saying this? Because now they are asking you to electronically file it in ADT4. So for 3 points, now they are giving 1. So with this, we have come to the end of the amendments. Any query? I guess all clear. Great, great. Thank you. So I'm closing my one of the tabs and coming back to the PPT. So you know what all amendments are applicable for May 2026 examinations, and simultaneously we have also covered that how questions can be asked. So many a times why I covered the amendments as well as that how questions can be asked. The people who are making the papers may be interested in checking the latest knowledge of the students. Okay. So they will be asking you questions on amendments, which is a typical ICAI behavior even in GST or this, I mean IDT or paper 3A, which is a taxation and law. Okay. So you should know, they want to know, okay, the students are aware about the latest legislation. Moving further, I think we should go for the examinations because you have to prepare, you are preparing for the examinations to appear on this examination. If anybody has seen the suggested, then they must be knowing the paper pattern also. So how to know the paper pattern? Either refer the past year papers or refer the suggested answers. The illustrative paper pattern is that division A comprises of 30 marks and division B comprises of 70 marks. So 100 marks are divided into two portions, which is your 30 marks MCQs. Okay, just see if I can write somewhere else. These are my answers, but I want to write something. PDF. Hold on. I'm just using the space. The 100 marks paper is divided into two portions, which is your 30 marks and 70 marks. The 30 marks paper is division A, which is your MCQs, and this is your descriptive. Now these 30 marks, sorry, these 30 marks, it is case scenario based. What do we mean by case scenario based? Few facts will be given and it will be followed by 1, 2, 3, 4 or maximum 5 MCQs. So the scenario will be followed by these many MCQs. You have to read this case scenario, and then you have to answer the MCQs. Now, how MCQs are given? Suppose there is an MCQ. The MCQ will be having 4 options, typically A, B, C, and D. And you have to choose one most appropriate answer. So you have to not only read the facts that are given here, you have to link it with the case scenario and then choose the most appropriate answer. Can you have two answers? Typically, it should never be two answers. In your OMR sheet, always mark only one answer which you feel is most appropriate. Even if it seems to you that two answers are correct, don't do that. It may cost you marks because OMR sheets are digitally checked, so they will not, the computer will not be able to take it. So put the most appropriate answer that you feel. Choose one answer option which is correct as per you. As per the past trends, what we have seen is that all the MCQs are of 2 marks each. So total there should be 15 MCQs of 2 marks is your 30 marks. What I'm telling you is as per the past trend, if suddenly ICAI decides to change something, they are free to do. It has to be just an 100 marks paper. But this 30 marks will be there. Now let's come on to the next, which is your 70 marks of descriptive. So now descriptive question is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Generally, in all those attempts since May 2024, we have seen that you are asked 6 questions. This is compulsory. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of these 5 questions, you have to attempt any 4. Am I correct? Okay. So you have to attempt. Thank you. और भी बच्चे आंसर करो, एक ही बेबी आंसर कर रहा है. Thank you, Dikshit. So you have to attempt any 4. What does compulsory question mean and what does optional question? All these 30 marks are also compulsory. Let me just tell you. You don't have a choice to attempt the question or not attempt the question in this 30 marks. In this 30 marks. And also you don't have a choice here that you want to attempt this question or not. Supposedly you do not attempt this question. You lose the whole of the marks of this question. Now, even if you attempt 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suppose somebody say that I have to attempt all 4. I had to attempt 5 questions. Ma'am, I have attempted all 5 questions. Only from these optional questions, only 4 will be counted. Only 4 will be counted, not 5. Only 4 will be counted. So somewhere you have to, if you don't attempt this question, the compulsory question, all the marks are lost. I think typically it is of 14 marks. And rest of the questions are also 14 marks each. Okay. So what they consist of? Generally, they consist of so what they consist of? Generally, 2 questions from the Companies Act or 1 question from Companies Act, 1 from LLP, plus 1 from other laws, plus 1 from other laws. Now, supposedly a student says that, ma'am, I don't want to, like, only 4 marks. Generally, it's of 4 marks. Ma'am, even if I leave the other laws portion altogether, how much will I lose altogether? So it's like 5, including compulsory, into 4. 20 marks plus 10 marks from here. So total will be, you will leave 30 marks. So this, why I'm discussing leaving portion here, this time what happened, many of the students couldn't score good in, any student who had given this January attempt also, just reply to me privately, yes or no. Okay, okay, okay. So this time we had a major feedback that students couldn't do the portions that were related to interpretation of statutes. That's why I'm taking it in detail here. Never ever try to leave few of the topics altogether. It's my humble request with folded hands. Advice as a faculty, as well as a senior professional. I'm a CA by profession, to tell you that you should not leave the topic altogether. Every topic has at least some weightage, and specifically in the other laws portion. Typically, what we have seen in the last few attempts is Journal Clauses Act will come for around 10 to 12 marks. Interpretation will come for around 8 to 10 marks. And your FEMA will come for around 12 to 14 marks. The ratio between FEMA and GC can be like 10 to 12, 12 to 14, or 14 to 12, and 10 to 12. So it can be like vice versa also. So 30 marks. And they are the easiest to score if you start focusing on this earlier time itself. So since we are right now in the phase where less than a month is left, then also you can, if anybody is thinking of leaving it all together, if anybody, this is specifically if you are thinking of leaving it all together, do not do that. Go to the Saransh or any other notes that are available, just read it once. You will be able to at least do something. Losing on to those 30 marks altogether is not advisable. Okay. Focusing solely on Companies Act and LLP will give you 70 marks, for which you are reading 2 modules. And focusing on other laws will give you 30 marks, even if you read module 3. So this is a way you have to trick your mind that reading these 3 chapters will give you more marks than reading those 2 modules. I hope you can appreciate that every page of other laws carries more marks than every page of those 2 modules. Mathematics calculation. Reading 500 pages for 70 marks and reading around 110 pages for 30 marks. The calculation is specifically in front of you. I'm not doing the maths. So this is the paper pattern. And that's why I wanted to discuss it very categorically with you so that you don't leave. 70 marks. Okay, a very interesting question one student has asked. 70 marks are corporate and other laws are 30 marks. Yes, yes, yes. Don't confuse it here from here. This is paper pattern. And what you are saying is the division of syllabus. That's 70 marks for corporate laws, which is your companies plus LLP, and 30 marks for other laws. So, Mithila, there are no important questions. There are no important questions from my side, no important chapters from my side. Recently, the paper pattern that we have seen in the last 5 attempts is like they can ask you anything from everything. They may even pick up a small provision which we thought that okay, this is like that only they can ask. But then also I would say if you are reading everything in the study material, it will somewhere be in your mind, and there is no need for you to fret about that. Okay, I have not read this one page, or I don't remember the penalties, or I don't remember the exact amounts. Okay. Apart from few like registered office, or if you have to file with ROC, major ones, incorporation के बाद कितने दिन में आपको अपना 180 days वाला period हो गया, या registered office का हो गया. So these are important things that you need to learn. Otherwise, there is no need for you to remember or learn everything. In terms of this important thing that you have asked. As far as important, just refer the facts refer the facts of refer the questions that are given in the suggested. It will give you a kind of impression that okay, how much can come from a chapter. It is available on BoS website also, but that is not given chapter wise. It is like a portion is given wherein skill wise and section wise weightage we call it, that is given, and how much will come from a specific portion. Okay, like these 4 chapters will be around 20 to 30 marks. So 20 marks to 30 marks of the whole paper than these. But I do not recommend it too much, because then you will be thinking that how much I will be from this chapter, this chapter. So we cannot exactly tell you from which chapter how much will come, but generally skill wise and section wise weightage is there. Okay. Now, so we were talking about division paper pattern. We have discussed all this. Okay. Before how to manage the time, I will take few of the queries of the students.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, you may raise your
Ma'am,
hand. Then I will be knowing that who is talking.
yeah, I'm Karthik, ma'am. Karthik Singhal.
Okay. Yes, Karthik.
Ma'am, I have a doubt that like in a deposit chapter, there is a provision that eligible public company uh, should have paid up capital not less than 100 CR.
Mm-hmm.
तो मैम मेरा डाउट है कि एग्जाम में हम जैसे सिनोनिम्स होते हैं नोट लेस देन को एटलीस्ट भी बोल देते हैं अप टू किसी केस में
हाँ, you can write it.
मैम
No problem
उसमें
with
ऐसे
that.
तो मैम फिर प्रोविजन के टाइम ऐसे नंबर्स कहाँ कटते हैं
बताती हूँ. अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा है. कार्तिक, आप अपना, अगर मैं इसको कहीं पे भूल जाऊँ ना, मुझे दोबारा याद कराना, क्योंकि बहुत अच्छा है. हो सकता है अभी मैं जो डिस्कस करूंगी उसमें आपका ये चीज हो जाए. ठीक है. So, एक मिथिला says, ma'am, facts of the case is formed a part of answer, or else can I start the provision, ma'am? If I am skipping the facts of the case, marks will be deducted. So, Mithila, what happens is, generally we say that you should first, whenever a descriptive question is given to you, you read the question as a whole. So now we will be focusing on how to answer. Okay. So you read the facts of the question. You get a brief idea in your mind that, okay, this is related to this provision. So first of all, always write the provision. Okay. What it brings to the paper checker. Think yourself as the paper checker. I ask you a question. You ask me, like, if you are the paper checker, what will you like? That you want to know that student knows that, okay, this problem the student can solve with the help of this provision. So first of all, write the provision. If you are writing the correct provision, at least you will get some marks. The paper checker will come to know, okay, the student is at least knowing which provision this problem is relating to. So one, provision. Then second, we say write the facts of the case. What happens is, if I'm telling you to write the facts of the case, it doesn't mean you have to reproduce those facts as it is. You can write the relevant material of the fact that is important. But suppose if it involves some calculation or some facts are to be written which will help in drawing the conclusion, just write that. And what you can do is, if time is less, or there is a way of writing which you may have seen us also doing a lot while we are talking, the ICAI, I mean to say ICAI, they will be merging the facts and the conclusion in one. Instead of writing the facts as it is, they will be merging and writing the conclusion. Conclusion को ही हम facts में blend कर देते हैं. Let me just see if I can show you. You can see the question later. See, it is related to FEMA. It is written that what all was there, what is the exact provision, and then accordingly in the given question, यहाँ पर facts और conclusion साथ साथ लिख दिया गया. They have written it combined. Mute कर दो सबको. ये. Okay, Mithila. I think now it's clear that you can write facts of the question in combination with the conclusion itself. And if you skip the facts altogether, if the facts are such that they are not impacting on the conclusion as not the correct word would not be that they are not impacting the conclusion, you can somewhere skip the facts only when it is already embedded in the provision. Otherwise, when you are mixing the facts and the conclusion and giving the clear conclusion, it gives a better idea to the paper checker. Okay, you know how to analyze the situation and then you are giving the conclusion. Conclusion is a very important part of writing the answer. So supposedly what you are doing is you may arrive at a wrong conclusion, but if your provision is correct, then also you will have some marks because step marking is there. So that's why there is a reason I always tell my students to write the provision. Okay, so Mithila, yours is done. Then Rohan Sahu. Ma'am, can we write answers of interpretation of statutes in points? Yes, you can write the answers in points, but it should not be like that only points or diagrammatic presentation. You have to write the, it doesn't need to be in paragraph form. If we see these answers also, these are also mentioned in paragraphs. If you want, you can even break down this or break down this. But you cannot write quorum not present in adjourned meeting. Let me write. Not even meeting, adjourned meet. Not like this. Any one of you please raise your hand and read this for me. Just anybody of you, like this portion. Anybody of you will do the honors for me? बाद में दीजिए.
But ma'am,
Who is this? Aditya, you read it. I will. Okay, Aditya. Ask.
Which paragraph, ma'am?
I just want you to read the way I have written this portion. This one. It is an extension of this, but I don't want you to read from the paragraph. I want you to read only from the short forms that I have written.
Okay. Quorum not presented.
Adjourned.
Formed adjourn may meet half an hour. Memorandum present quorum.
Yes. So, student, thank you, Aditya. So he read it as memorandum. It is member. Students, all this representation is good when you are learning how to. All this representation is good when you are learning how to remember the things. Okay? But when you are in writing in exams, you may write in points, but you need to write in full sentences. It is not necessary to write this language which is given in the study material or MTP or RTP. But if you are writing this, you have to write it in sentences, one or two. If I don't look at the exact language of law, I can write if the मेरी तो वही निकलेगा if the quorum is not present within, I have to somewhere write the words within. If the quorum is not present in the adjourned meeting within half an hour, someone else frame it for you. For me, it will be like I will always be telling in the language of law because I'm more used to it. So you have to present this in sentences.
मैम
Yes.
मैम माय डाउट इट सेम दैट इसमें विद इन हाफ एन आवर लिखा प्रोविजन में
हाँ
बट मुझे विद इन 30 मिनट्स से याद है तो क्या मैं विद इन 30 मिनट्स लिखूं या फिर विद इन हाफ एन आवर ही मुझे याद करना है
ओके वैसे तो विद इन हाफ एन आवर बट 30 मिनट्स कैन नॉट बी सेड एज रॉन्ग क्योंकि हाफ एन आवर और 30 मिनट्स एक ही चीज है
मैम I have one doubt, ma'am.
हाँ बोलो
Ma'am, you said that 70 marks descriptive.
Correct.
First question is compulsory.
Yes.
First for in 70 marks descriptive question. Can I start with second, third, fourth?
You can change the order. You can it is not necessary for you to attempt the compulsory portion question first. Very good question. You can change the order. Always attempt the question which you know the best. Always attempt first that question which you know the best. So you can attempt question number 3 first, but in that attempt is like question number 3A, question number 3B, and question number C. Don't change the order. It may create confusion in the mind of the paper checker. It's like you are making things easy for the paper checker. Okay. There is no written rule here, but we just say it from the point of view that let's not make things difficult for the person who is checking our copies. Let's make things easier for him or her so that that person gives me more marks. I think that's being normal.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, section is compulsory to remember or not?
Okay, I will take it because I'm having questions with relation to that also. I'm taking one by one. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
So I think we have taken this. Okay, in exam, all question I write as per Companies Act. Don't mention the section. Sorry. I'm really sorry. In exam, for all questions I write as per Companies Act and don't mention the section and I write provisions and answered correctly. Can I get full marks? Okay. Writing section number at intermediate level is not compulsory, but you can remember at least few of the important section number. It kinds of like create an impression on the paper checker. Okay, the students know something above, but it is not like that. If you don't write, your marks can be deducted. However, in no case you should write or quote a wrong section number. That is my humble request. So yes, you can get full marks even without writing the section number. Okay, full marks. What do you mean by full marks? Let me clarify generally because it's a theoretical based paper. So out of 5, around 4 to 5 will be full marks only. From where I can amended PDF. Okay. This is all done. This is done. Answer how to present. Harshit, you have asked ma'am how to present answer in exam. I just explained it to you. First the provision, then the facts, or directly link the facts with the answer. How big answer should be? I attended mock test. I was able to write more than a page. I attended all questions with provision, facts, and conclusion. Did get more than 2 marks for 5 mark question. I scored 50. But how? Which 20 mark MCQs? How to improve descriptive answer? Lakshmi, the only way to improve writing pages and pages is not the key. The key is remembering those keywords of the legal language. We never ever say that you can write the exact language, but if they are writing, can there be another word for adjourned meeting? Next meeting? Okay. Supposedly, I am writing if the quorum, not where, if the quorum is not present in the next meeting also. In your mind, as a student, adjourned meeting and next meeting may have one and the same meaning. But in legal language, the word is adjourned meeting. So that is kind of a keyword. So you should write those keywords somewhere in your answer. It will automatically fetch you more marks. Okay. Then the members present shall form the quorum. Somewhere, some students can write, then the people present there will be quorum. So the correct word would be members. Okay. Is it fine with you guys? It's not like you have to learn it, but when we are talking about members, it is to be members. It is not to be people, employees. Don't use such vague words. So you have to write in full language with keywords.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Just wait. I'm just reading one question, then I can talk. Ma'am, as in question 3, I know A and B and I don't know C. At last, I remember the answer in this case what? Okay, so good question. Supposedly in this, you know A and B and you don't know C. There are two things. You don't know C altogether, or you think that maybe I don't remember it exactly, but I have a faint memory of it, that what I can write. So write this answer, and leave the space for this answer. And in the last 15 or 5 minutes, not 15, 5 minutes, when you are revising the paper or giving it a glance, if you remember the answer, go back to it and write it. If you don't remember, then just remember to cancel, like just in if this is your sheet and you have written answer 3 and you have left this space as blank, so just cancel it and write PTO, something like this, which denotes that the paper checker doesn't have to spend their time on this. Okay. I'm just making it again in the sense. So if you don't know this answer, what will you do? This is my page. Start it from a fresh page. You are not knowing. तो वो हम ऐसे कैंसिल का कुछ बनाते थे ना, ऐसे ऐसे करके. तो यहाँ पे right, please start. It will give an indication to the paper checker. Okay, you don't know this answer. You leave the page there itself. If you do it like you are doing only this and this and not leaving page for this, and you do it after 5C, there are chances that they may not check it. I am not very PTO, correct. please. PTO, okay. Page turn over leaf. Normal student language may we say it as please turn over, but it's page turn over leaf kinds. I need to see. I don't remember much now. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, Dikshit, I think now this is clear. Okay, a student was asking something and I said that I will come back to you. Please now ask.
Ma'am, uh, at the time of answering the question, how much raw act, as it mentioned in the module, we should write? Like at what extent that raw act should be written in the answer?
You mean to say legal language as it is?
Yes, ma'am.
Practically not possible. Until and unless you have read it like 500 times like us.
Okay.
ठीक है?
Okay, ma'am.
What we do is, why I was not able to tell you this in simple language, because I think I may have read it like, not 500 is an exaggeration, but around 50-70 times I may have read it at different point of time. So I'm able to, I will be remembering this only. This is the beauty of a brain. Repetition, habits, how do we form it? Repetition, repetition, repetition. So as students, what you have to do, because the institute somewhere demands that kind of not legal language, but legal terminologies from you. So we always advocate that first read your study material thrice or 4 times. And then when you have made your notes, I always recommend your own notes. If not, then read it when you are referring the notes, whichever you are referring along with the study material. Even if you are not reading the study material always, but those words will get imprinted in your mind. And when you will be writing the answers, it will automatically flow from your pen, not mouth, because you have to write it. So it will
Ma'am,
be.
doubt I
And
have.
I will just give you one example. This adjourn meeting I can write, but if you see one para above it, provided that in case of an adjourn meeting or of a change of day, time or place, the company shall not give less than 3 days notice to the members, either individually or by publishing an advertisement in the newspaper, one in English and one in vernacular language, which is in circulation at a place where the registered office of the company is situated. As I'm not used to reading this again and again, my language is bound to change. But since I know the legal language, somewhere when I will be writing it, I will be writing somewhere that in case of an adjourned meeting, where there is a change in the date, time, or place, because I remember those words, the company is required to give at least or shall not give less than 3 days notice to the members. I may skip the words individually. It can skip from my mind, or by publishing it in newspaper, one in English and one in vernacular language. Okay. And this has, like, then I may put a comma and write at a place where the registered office of the company is situated. So I
Okay,
read
ma'am.
it here because I know how the words flow. You see, I have not spoken the exact line. When it came to quorum, I could, because I've read it many times. Similarly, it's with you also. But I could write the few of the words which are keywords. English language, when we are talking about the newspaper, I did not use the word local language. I used the word English language and in one vernacular language. You understand
Okay, ma'am.
what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it clear to you now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So students, I will be
Ma'am,
taking, can I have
uh,
30 seconds break?
um, yes,
I will
ma'am.
just a 30-second break. Just a 30-second break. Okay. Please continue. Whosoever was saying something.
यस मैम,
अपना
वो
नाम लो, मुझे ना दिख नहीं रहा है.
कार्तिक मैम, कार्तिक.
ओके, कार्तिक. हाँ, कार्तिक बोलो.
इसमें कि लाइक मैं अगर मेरा कंक्लूजन सही है आंसर में,
हम्म.
तो इट में भी चांस कि मेरे प्रोविजन मुझे पता होगा. तो उसके
हाँ,
बाद भी मैम फिर मार्क्स कम क्यों होते हैं, लो में मिलते हैं? तो मैम वो प्रोविजन में क्या क्या पॉइंट्स ऐसे याद रखने होते हैं लिखने के टाइम?
मैंने बताया ना आपको, फुल सेंटेंसेस लिखने हैं. अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट 2013, एज पर सेक्शन. अगर आपको पता है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, सेक्शन नहीं पता है तो आप नहीं लिख पाओगे. बट जैसे हम इसी को देखो, चलो इसी आंसर का ले लेते हैं, हम क्वेश्चन पे तो अभी बात जा ही नहीं रही. आपको कहीं ना, अगर आपने इसका एग्जैक्ट प्रोविजन देखा है, यू नो दिस सेक्शन 103 ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट इन केस ऑफ अ पब्लिक, यू नो दिस प्रोविजन. उन्होंने दिखाते हैं, एक
पब्लिक.
सेकंड, मैं इसको ओपन करके दिखाता हूँ.
यस मैम, वो मिनिमम लिमिट ऑफ कोरम
करेक्ट,
मेंबर्स.
करेक्ट. अब अगर आप, इफ यू सी द प्रोविजन एज इट इज देयर, सो इट्स नॉट टॉकिंग. सी, ये मैंने बेयर एक्ट में से ओपन किया आपके लिए. In case of a public company, then they are telling about 5 members, then 15, then 30. Okay. Now if we come back to our answer, we will see according to section 103 of the Companies Act, you may skip this portion. If you don't know, you can just write according to the provisions of section 103. In case of a public company, अब ये point आपको लिखना जरूरी है. अब बच्चा क्या करेगा, वो लिखेगा in case. बच्चे क्या करते हैं, typical what they do is, according to provision of section 10, provisions of the Companies Act 2013, if the number of members is more than 1,000, but up to 5,000, the quorum shall be 15 members personally present. ये word उन्हें याद है, personally present. Am I correct? You need
यस
to be
मैम.
truthful to me.
यस मैम.
90% क्या, 70 to 80, 90% बच्चा यही लिखेगा. वो पॉइंट्स में क्या बोलता है कि अगर यही कंपनी प्राइवेट कंपनी होगी तो आपका कोरम चेंज हो जाएगा ना बच्चे. आपने पब्लिक कंपनी खो गया. और कहीं ना कहीं जो ये वर्ड्स हैं, अनलेस द आर्टिकल्स प्रोवाइड फॉर अ लार्जर नंबर, या अनलेस द आर्टिकल्स प्रोवाइड अदरवाइज, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो अगर मैं ये लाइन भूल भी जाऊं, अनलेस द, इस क्वेश्चन में इफ देर इज अ नो नीड फॉर द वर्ड्स अनलेस द आर्टिकल्स प्रोवाइड फॉर अ लार्जर नंबर, मैं शायद इस क्वेश्चन में जरूरत नहीं थी, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर, तो आप भूल सकते हो, लेकिन एटलीस्ट वर्ड पब्लिक कंपनी तो लिखोगे ना.
यस मैम.
है ना. एज स्टूडेंट्स हमें लगता है हमने सब कुछ लिख दिया है, बट हम लिखते हैं सिर्फ उसमें इफ दे आर अप टू 5,000 मेंबर्स. आपने 5,000 लिखा लेकिन लिमिट नहीं लिखी, 1,000 से 5,000.
यस मैम.
तो यही हम सिली मिस्टेक्स करते हैं, और तभी आप स्टूडेंट्स हो. ओके. एंड यही हमारा मेजर एम है फोर्टनाइट या इसका, क्योंकि हम एक एक बच्चे, वी आर नॉट हैविंग क्लासरूम टीचिंग्स, एलवीसी क्लास है हमारी, बट देन ऑल्सो विथ एवरी ईयर वी सी द पेपर्स एंड सी कि हमारे बच्चे कहाँ गलती कर रहे हैं और हमें क्या करना है. एंड इसीलिए मैं आपसे अभी इंटरप्रिटेशन, आई वांट टू रिजर्व एटलीस्ट 15 और 10 मिनट्स फॉर इंटरप्रिटेशन. आई वांट माय स्टूडेंट्स टू स्कोर गुड इन इंटरप्रिटेशन दिस टाइम. कुछ तो लिख के आएंगे, कुछ तो, एक बच्चे ने भी अगर कर लिया तो मेरी मेहनत सफल है. Okay, I attended entire mock test series 1 of the institute held last month, committed silly mistakes during exam, forgot provision relating to foreign company. हाँ, it's okay. अच्छा है ना, mock test paper में नंबर कम आए, मुझे पता तो चला what wrong I am doing. Then I can always improvise on, so that I don't commit the same mistake in my examination. Yes, that's good if you are realizing this. It is important to underline the important key points of provision, and also Is it mandated to denote subsection as well as section? I have taken it. मुझे ही याद नहीं है subsection. Section 129 याद है, 3, 4, 5 मैं खुद भूल जाती हूँ. So I cannot expect you. Ask me CSR, I remember 135. But if you ask me अचानक से 135(7) क्या था, मुझे याद नहीं आएगा. Okay? And it is not even expected from you. Okay. If you have time, you can underline the important key points very much. I hope all the queries I have catered to till now that have come. How to manage time in examination? How, ma'am, in branches, how many times we can take mock tests? 2 times, series 1 and 2. Okay. How to manage time in examination? Make optimum use of the 15 minutes given for reading. You know 15 minutes are given to you for reading? Yes, it is given. And why it is given? It gives a kind of an idea to you that how you should make the maximum of this 15 minutes. You cannot mark anything in your examinations or anything. Okay. I'm sorry, you cannot mark anything on the question paper. But how to utilize this? Start reading the question and mentally make a note that, okay, this is somewhere related to financial statements and it is somewhere related to registered office and it is asking about, no, you don't have to think, thinking is much faster than what I have to say. So ओके 30 days लगते हैं रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस के केस में उसको बताने में. 30 days का टाइम पीरियड है. मेंटली मेक अ नोट ऑफ इट. आपको बोलने में, मुझे बोलने में ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा, आप मेंटली जल्दी कर लोगे. सो मेंटली व्हेन यू नो व्हाट द क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग, यू आर नॉट ओवर एनालाइजिंग द क्वेश्चन एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ अ टाइम. यू डोंट हैव टू गेट स्टक इन द क्वेश्चन, बट समवेयर आप जिन क्वेश्चंस, जो क्वेश्चंस आपको आते हैं, आप वहां पे मेंटली उसका नोट बना लो. जो आते हैं, जो नहीं आते उस पर टाइम लगाया तो 15 मिनट्स का ऑप्टिमम यूटिलाइजेशन नहीं हो पाएगा. आपने पढ़ लिया, फिर आपको ये पता है कि अब आपको सबसे पहले कौन सा क्वेश्चन करना है. स्टार्ट विद दैट, ईदर MCQs और योर descriptive. In descriptive also you know which question to attempt first. So you have to make use of this 15 minutes. That's what we are writing. Go through all the questions quickly. Select the question that you would be attempting from all the questions. Mark the question, mentally mark the question which you will be attempting first. Allocate an estimated time for each question based on the difficulty level and marks carried, keeping aside 10 to 15. वैसे 10 to 15 बचता नहीं, around 5-7 minutes ही ले सकते हो आप रिविजन के लिए. Adhere to time allocated. So this is an important point. What happens is, the question number 1 which I will be attempting as I have been telling you again and again कि जिसको question आपको सबसे अच्छा आता है, first attempt that question. I know that question and it cannot be more than 14 marks, but I have spent around 40 minutes on that question. Will it fetch me more than 14 marks? No, not in any circumstances. Out of 14 maximum, you can get around 11 to 12 marks. So even if you know it, you know the entire history of that question, don't try to tell everything. Just write whatever is relevant. So every question, every mark of your paper should take around 1.8 minutes. That's my calculation. Okay. So every mark is worth 1.8 minutes. So a 5 marks question should roughly take 9 minutes or maximum 10 minutes. Okay. Now try to adhere to this time limit. There is one more word that is written here. Difficulty level. Please mute yourself. Supposedly, a question comes which asks for 3 points and I know the provision is such that while writing it, I cannot complete it in 9 to 10 minutes. I will definitely take around 12 minutes to 14 minutes. And there are certain questions which does. अब बच्चों में हो जाएगा हाय the paper was lengthy, I could not complete it. ये question लंबा था. Correct. This question required more marks. Oh, more marks also and more time also. But marks तो आपके उतने ही थे. There will be certain questions in the examination paper which will be taking around 5 to 7 minutes also. Because they were easy. So that has to be balanced. Whenever we see any paper, we have to see कि क्या total paper उतनी देर में खत्म हो सकता है. Okay. Understand the importance of this part and try to give some time for revision also. I'm not saying 10 to 15. नहीं possible है तो 5 minutes तो रखो. क्या होता है? Many a times while I'm writing an answer, I am not able to give my best because my mind is also occupied with the other questions that I have to attempt. अभी 15 half an hour बचा और मेरा अभी around 20 मार्क्स का पेपर रहेगा तो मैं आंसर्स का जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं कर सकती या 15 मिनट्स बचे हैं और मेरा 5 मार्क्स बचा है तो मुझे पता है कि मुझे कैसे करना है. So if I have those 5 minutes, sometimes while I'm writing an answer, I may miss a knot in the answer or conclusion, which will change the whole meaning of the conclusion. While revising, I can write it. And revision also helps. If you are keeping 10 to 15 minutes for revision, then it will also help in one thing. Supposedly, you have not written 4 answers. But you know something about that answer. I'm not asking you to write vague answers, but even if you know 3 to 4 points of that answer, you can write it. Had you started with those answers, like somebody asked about like if I know about 3 A and B and if I don't know about C, then what should I do? So if you are leaving it for the last, then you can knowing the answer. If you're knowing the answer, you can write it somewhere. If you're not knowing the answer, then you can just cancel out. Okay. Write each answer in commensuration with the marks with which the question carries. Answer should be precise and to the points which I told you. They will not give you many marks even if you write the best of the answer. So how to manage time in examination? One student has asked about last 1.5 days. Okay, I will discuss this also. Karthik, we will discuss this. Before that, so now next is, I was talking about, I just wanted to discuss. Let me finish the PPTs with you. Attempt the questions we have discussed that how you have to do it. No reasoning of MCQs is to be given and no negative marking of MCQs is still there. Okay, and they have to read the facts of the question and apply the knowledge correctly to the case in hand. Descriptive questions we have discussed. Writing of wrong section numbers will also we have discussed. Then another important part is assumption. Sometimes the question is not clear or it can have two meanings. I don't make the paper, I'm just using the words. The person who is making the paper is thinking of law or the situation from a particular position, but as a student, you may think that, okay, this provision and this situation can have a different position also. Then clearly state the assumption. And then write the answer as per that. However, don't draw unnecessary assumptions. Only when there is actual an ambiguity or two possible meanings are there, then only take an assumption. Okay. Length of the answer we have discussed, commensuration with marks. Okay, I had this many a times students give journalized answer, vague answer, always avoid it. That's what I've told you otherwise also. And then answer should be given in legible English language. Only shorthand notes, diagrams may be avoided. That you know. Don't use as SMS language. So what is what and it is not what. Other short forms may not be used. If you are writing MCA, first you somewhere write Ministry of, in your answer, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, full, and then write MCA. Then later on you may use the word MCA. Such abbreviations can be used. Okay, so where I wanted to discuss, Sarah. I was talking to studying. Kuldeep has been studying corporate laws, makes preparation for audit in advance of government. Yes, it helps. As far as pen is concerned, only use a pen of the color which is allowed in your relevant attempt. Read the instructions as given in the manual. Along with the admit card, you are given a manual. Only use that pen only. So I will not be commenting on that. I think black pen makes checking digitally easier for them. And for OMR sheet, I think pencil they say, but please read the instructions. Whatever they are saying, do that only. Otherwise, अगर आपने मान लो उन्होंने OMR कहा है पेंसिल से और आप पेन से कर दो नहीं चेक हो पाएगा. So please read the instructions. So coming back to this interpretation of statutes. Many a time students leave this chapter because they think that you have to learn a lot. First of all, I would say इस चैप्टर को लर्न करने के लिए ना अपना थोड़ा हम एटीट्यूड चेंज कर सकते हैं. अगर हम इस चैप्टर को देखेंगे फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑफ गेनिंग मार्क्स तो हम इसको बेटर कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि वी नो 8 मार्क्स तो आएगा यहां से. इंक्लूसिव ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, दिस चैप्टर इज ऑफ 47 मार्क्स, जिसमें से मैं ये एक पेज हटा दूं. ये दूसरा पेज भी एसएसआई है. और मैं क्वेश्चन आंसर्स हटा रही. तो 38 - 2 इज 36 पेजेस. हम थोड़ा इसके लिए अपना मेंटली हम अपने आप को चेंज करेंगे, एटलीस्ट फॉर दिस चैप्टर. समवन में से मत पढ़ो, खुद कर लो प्लीज. अदर लॉज में से क्वेश्चन आते हैं और पक्का आते हैं, तो प्लीज इन चैप्टर्स को भी मत छोड़ना. कोई कहे कि फेमा कर जाओ बाकी छोड़ जाओ, प्लीज मत छोड़ना. थोड़ा बहुत करना बट मतलब शॉर्ट में करना बट करना जरा. सो अगर आपके पास पहला है स्टैट्यूट, अब दिस इज स्पेसिफिकली अगर कोई इस चैप्टर को छोड़ के जा रहा है उसके लिए कह रही. स्टैट्यूट क्या होता है? रिटन लॉ एज अगेंस्ट अनरिटन लॉ. वंस आई हैव this thing in mind that what is the meaning of statute, written law, so that word will come into my mind that it is a written law. Laws and regulation of various kind irrespective of the source from which they emanate. Okay, emanate मुझे नहीं learn करना. So laws and regulations of any kind from whichsoever says source they may be originating from. मैं उसको अपनी लैंग्वेज में लर्न करूंगी ना. अगर मुझे प्रॉब्लम है इस चैप्टर के साथ, मैं ऑल टुगेदर उसको नहीं छोड़ूंगी. enacted law, that is the law either enacted by parliament or by the state legislature. This I can very well can come into my mind. अब statute की अगर definition आएगी, कुछ आ गया स्टैट्यूट से रिलेटेड, तो उसको कैसे करेंगे हम? यहाँ पर इन्होंने ना, हमने इतनी प्यारी सी डेफिनेशन लिख रखी है। To the common man, the term statute generally means laws and regulation of various kinds, irrespective of the source from which they emanate. As a student, मैं नहीं लर्न करना चाहती इसको. I will just, ये दोनों मैं साथ साथ ही ओपन करके रखेंगे, अदरवाइज सिर्फ आप यही लिख के आओगे. सो एज अ स्टूडेंट आई कैन जस्ट राइट, so statute is a written law, or statutes are laws and regulations of any kind, and they may originate from any source. And next, point number 2, where somebody was asking about point, I can write it in point. We have so next, the enacted law is the law that is enacted either by the parliament or the state legislature. At least I will, out of 1 mark, I will get half mark just by changing my attitude towards this chapter. Then this is the second definition, which is your document. Document में बहुत बार question आया है. You read it first from here so that आपको थोड़ा सा ये अंदाजा लग जाए कि मुझे किस चीज, किस वर्ड्स पे ध्यान देना है, किस चीज पे ध्यान देना है. Then you read it from the study material. ये रहा डॉक्यूमेंट. 2 टाइप के डॉक्यूमेंट है, जिसमें से एक आप अपना जर्नल क्लॉजेस में पढ़ ही चुके. I will just change my attitude towards the chapter. So yes, correct, Kuldeep. I have been telling this to students from long time. Okay, then next, ये सब. बट इसके बाद भी आपको डिटेल बुक का एटलीस्ट इसके साथ पढ़ लोगे तो यू विल बी इन अ बेटर पोजिशन टू फ्रेम दो सेंटेंसेस. अदरवाइज इट विल बी अनदर जस्ट अ हैंडबुक फॉर यू, एंड देन यू विल नॉट बी फेचिंग द good marks, and then you will be saying, I have to written everything. You have not written everything. You read only this much, so you will be write only this much. So read this much, then you will be able to write this much. In this we are drawing the reverse thing, but then also you have to read it somewhere from the study material. Okay, now there were external and internal aids to interpretation. Okay, so here everything is given in short. Instead of leaving it all together, just read it from here and then read it from study material. Another major thing, major Latin maxims. So sometimes question in examination in this chapter can directly come from this point also. Write about absolutus inentia expotir non indigent. I even get many a times like this. Okay. These are kind of tongue twisters for me also. So I can, if I have read this, see page number 146 to 147, just these 2 pages, I will be able to write at least something about it, and I will not be writing vague. You understand? If the question comes, write something about a tres magus valiet quam period, you will be able to write that this is with relation to wherein the words of a statute must be understood or construed so as to lead to a sensible meaning. It is generally used in the rule of reasonable construction and reasonable exceptional construction. You will be able to write at least few words, not leaving it all together. And if you have read it from the study material somewhere, you will be able to write at least 1 or 2 points more. Instead of leaving the whole 4 marks, you will be able to write few points. Be very cautious. I am telling it to the students जिनके मन में ये कहीं पे भी बात थी कि उनको ये चैप्टर छोड़ के जाना है. ये शॉर्टकट उनके लिए है जो कह रहे थे मुझे तो छोड़ के ही जाना है. और क्या पता, when you start reading, you will start liking this chapter and you will gain some few marks. Okay. Okay, Mithila has asked, ma'am, this is theory subject, so they not give full marks. They will reduce 1 or half mark in each question. Generally, हमने यही देखा है. So I wanted to talk to you about this chapter. Any questions here? Or I will start with the last 1.5 days. Okay. So very good question asked by a student was, ma'am, how to utilize that 1.5 day? You would have given your accounts paper. You came back after giving the accounts paper. Please shut that paper. Shut the memories of that paper, good or bad. Please. बंद करो, उसको रख दो. उसके ऊपर there is no, yes, you can first write start descriptive or MCQ. You have to finish the entire paper in 3 hours. That's it. That's the only thing that they want. So you have to shut down that paper and put it somewhere और फाड़ दो उसे, कुछ भी करो कि उसकी याद ना आए. तुझे याद ना मेरी आए. वो हिंदी, there is a song. Please burn it. हटा दो, फाड़ दो, जिससे आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ नेक्स्ट पेपर और COL का पेपर देने के बाद भी ये कर सकते हो. अगर खराब गया खासकर तो don't start calculating your accounts answer. Once you are done with that paper, please उसको हटा दो. और घर पे आके तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं देखना है. मुझे अपने फ्रेंड एक्स से बात भी नहीं करनी है. I don't have to talk to my friend Y also कि I wrote this answer, मेरी बैलेंस शीट टैली नहीं हुई. Whether your balance sheet got tallied, I got 4,50,000, you and I got 4,51,000. Please don't discuss. Now it will not fetch marks. So first point is this. Second, take good rest because you feel your mind is working, you are very energetic, but you are coming back from a battlefield for which you had been preparing long enough. So your neurons are tired, give them rest, sleep, don't scroll your phone, especially the shorts. It reduces the detention. I know I may be sounding to you like your mother or your elders, whosoever, but this is the truth that scrolling through shorts actually creates an impression in our mind of retention deficiency. We don't want to stay on one thing. We can scroll for 1.5 hours. So we have the capacity to stay focused for 1.5 hours. But what these shorts are doing to you, they are reducing your attention span. आप एक प्रोविजन को 10 मिनट नहीं पढ़ सकते क्योंकि you want to scroll. Okay, you want to swipe it. Second, so don't scroll. Use your phone only for studying, only if you want. Use your motor skills for reading books, your hands. वो बच्चों को हम कहते थे ना, put a pointer finger and read. Use your motor skills to read, write. Okay. Latest technologies and gadgets are available. Use them to your benefit, but not to your disadvantage. Don't eat junk food. It makes you more lethargic. Then, now when you have taken your rest and everything, start your preparation on that day itself. If you are a night person, then you have that night. Start reading. Okay. Now, here we can use one mind trick. Generally, people will tell you to first finish it up your Companies Act. But according to me, first finish up your other laws portion. Other laws with LLP, because the weightage is of 40 marks. Because I'm using LLP also. So 40 to 42 marks. And you can finish it up if you have done it earlier. You can finish it up in less time after rest when you read it. Companies Act provisions are so ingrained in you because you have been doing it for so long कि अगर आप एक दो प्रोविजन स्किप भी कर जाओगे रिवीजन के लिए तो वो आपको एग्जाम में याद आ जाएंगे, लेकिन अदर लॉज और एलएलपी इतनी आसानी से याद नहीं आएगा. तो फर्स्ट कंसंट्रेट ऑन LLP and this other laws revision, and then once you are done with it, if you still feel like reading, then go for this Companies Act. Okay. Then again you will somewhere have, इस केस में हमारे पास paper is I think 2 to 5 if I'm not wrong. So paper is 2 to 5. हाँ 2 to 5 है. आप स्कूल से कह रही हूँ, आप पेपर दे के आए, आपने रेस्ट किया, अगर शाम को भी 9 o'clock भी पढ़ने बैठे तो भी बाय 10:30 11 आप अपना फर्स्ट रिवीजन कंप्लीट कर सकते हो ऑफ other laws portion, even if not LLP. तो if you are a night person तो आप और ज्यादा फिनिश कर पाओगे. Then wake up early in the morning, start with LLP and continue it with your Companies Act. And in the evening, just before sleeping for the night, again, even if you are having shortage of time, read your other laws portion for around 1 hour. If you have shortage, revise it again 1 hour. वो रिटेंशन ऐसा बनेगा कि आपको लगेगा अच्छा मैं तो कर पा रहा हूँ. बट ये तभी पॉसिबल है व्हेन यू हैव ऑलरेडी कंप्लीटेड योर स्टडीज बिफोर हैंड. दिस इज नाउ यू आर जस्ट रिवाइजिंग. अब इस रिवीजन में देयर आर टू थिंग्स. Someone will think that I have just read from the detail book, so I will take more time. No. Then somewhere you must have prepared some short notes or referring some notes also for that. Then other point is during your study time only, like this time period, which is like this 21 days that are there, you keep on marking few of the important points in the questions itself. क्योंकि कभी कभार हमें चीजों की एडजस्टमेंट समझ नहीं आती इन अकाउंट्स एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स जो आपके प्रैक्टिकल पेपर हैं, या हमारा जो लॉ का पेपर है, लॉ बेस्ड पेपर्स हैं, तो उसमें हम भूल जाते हैं कि अच्छा इस सिचुएशन में ये आंसर होगा बिकॉज आई हैव टू अप्लाई इट लाइक दिस. सो मार्क इट. एग्जाम टाइम में just read that much portion only of that question and answer. Don't read the whole question and answer. So it will also save time. And one day, and just before the examination, your exam starts at around 2. So you need to reach there by 1:15 somewhere. So take that gap. कि अगर late भी हो रहे तो भी पहुंच जाओ. Have a light breakfast and take lots of fluids. But just before taking the paper, don't take lots of fluids and avoid eating very unhygienic or unhealthy food. Because when we are giving the examination, we are already like in lot of tension or feel like that. So don't take very heavy things. Keep yourself full with healthy fruit and foods. Okay. And the time that is before the examination and you want to revise only what you feel, okay, I was not able to remember. Another important point is if you have revised everything and you keep on feeling that you don't remember anything, then also that's not a problem. If you have done it in a good manner during your preparation time period and you have given your 100% and you have revised, I'm not saying just before the examination, but in that 1.5 day of examination, then you will be definitely able to recall and write it in the examination. Don't stress too much about it. आपने पढ़ा है तो आपका ब्रेन इतना शार्प है कि वो आपको पेपर को दिखाते ही आपको एक बार तो लगेगा मुझे कुछ नहीं आता, लेकिन जैसे ही आप इस कलम को उठाएंगे, ये वाला, सॉरी, ये वाला पेन, नॉट योर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पेन, तो जैसे ही आप उसको उठाएंगे पेपर पे लिखना शुरू करेंगे और हाथ आपके चलेंगे. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट. योर मेमोरी, योर ब्रेन एंड योर मोटर स्किल्स. तभी तो मोटर स्किल्स पे मैं इतना एम्फेसिस दे रही हूँ. वंस यू स्टार्ट राइटिंग or practicing, your motor skills will, your hands have memory and you will be able to write it. Okay. Okay. I have one query. Ma'am, first, can we start descriptive? No problem. How many times we have to read the amendments? You have to, yeah, that is totally up to you. I think I cannot give you an exact number, but 4 to 5 times. Can we read early morning to, see, I to always say, though I used to be a night person when I started with my CA journey, but eventually I turned to be a morning person, and then my health became better when I started my day early. If in exam hall I am fully blank in that situation, what can I do? Very good question, First of all, आपकी preparation अच्छी होनी चाहिए, but उसके बाद भी there can be circumstances where you will be blank. हम अपना पेपर ना आउट ऑफ जॉय नहीं दे रहे, हम अपना, we are not giving the paper out of joy, but we are giving our paper out of fear. अगर मैंने नहीं किया, प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ. अगर मैंने नहीं किया तो क्या होगा, अगर मुझे याद नहीं आया तो क्या होगा. So we are feeding ourselves on fear, and that's why sometimes we may go blank. We may go blank. So in that moments, just take a moment, close your eyes. Don't think that you are wasting this 1 minute, and just breathe in, breathe out. So there are two kind of breathings here. One is your deep breathing, which is your deep breathing, which is your belly breathing or diaphragm breathing, like not half short breath, but your full tummy breath. And if you want to take your mind away from something, just have fast breaths. It is a 20 breath rule wherein you will be, it's not Kapal Bharti, but a sort of that, where we will be, there will not, between the incoming and outgoing breath, you will not give a deliberate pause. So it will bring your mind back to your paper, and then you can just say to yourself after those 20 connected breaths, that's the exact word, 20 connected breaths, that I am here. It's my Karam Bhumi, and to hell with everything else. अभी मुझे ये करना है. मैं blank हूं, मैं लिख सकता हूँ. अरे पेन उठा के मैं, have faith in yourself. एंड हैव फेथ. कुछ नहीं आता ना तो भी लिखने की कोशिश करो. पता कुछ भी लिखोगे ना, उससे आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बनेगा. लाइक वी मेनी ऑफ यू माइट बी गोइंग टू द जिम एंड एवरीथिंग. मसल्स भी तो ऐसी होती है, पहले शुरू में तो पेन करती हैं, बट देन दे स्टार्ट एंजॉइंग इट. आप जिम नहीं जाओगे तो आपको ज्यादा दर्द होगा. ओके. सो ब्लैंक होके, अब दोनों हर स्टूडेंट के लिए अलग है. एक के लिए डायफ्राम ब्रीथिंग है, विच इज full belly breathing, and for other it's shallow breathing, 20 connected breaths. I hope I'm able to solve all your queries and you do very well in your examinations. And don't take stress of anything. पेपर आपको इसलिए दिया जा रहा है बिकॉज हमें नए सीएस चाहिए. It's not a test of you. It's we want, हमारी नीड है, इंडस्ट्री की नीड है, इकोनॉमी की नीड है कि हमें नए सीएस चाहिए. टेक इट फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू कि यार आए, लाइक दे वांट अस, इनको पास करना पड़ेगा. फिर हमने तैयारी करी है इनको, और उससे जाओगे कि ये तो मुझे पास करना ही नहीं चाहते, तो थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. सो जस्ट हैव फेथ इन यू, हैव फेथ इन लॉर्ड, टेक योर पेरेंट्स ब्लेसिंग्स. and chill. हो जाएगा. Problem बस प्रिपरेशन टाइम में टेंशन, प्रिपरेशन अच्छे से कर लो, बाकी वहां पे हो जाएगा. With this, I would like to end my today's session and have fun with your studies. Have fun with yourself. Be serious about the studies, but don't be serious about your life as a whole. पेपर दो, मजे करो, पेपर सोचो कि ये क्या मेरा टेस्ट लेगा, मैं देखो तो देख लूंगा. Have a chill pill attitude with full focus on your studies और हो जाएगा. With this, I would like to sign off for today and wish you all a very best. Come out with flying colors. Do let us know about your success, as well as even if there are a few mishaps. We would like to rectify more if we can help you in any way. And have fun, and enjoy your studies. That's what I can say. Thank you. Oh, let me just put the thank you banner also. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes, we can. And thank you, Bhargav ji,